You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Cougar Town After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Cougar Town After Show.
Hey there, Cougar Town fans, Cougar Townspeople, Cougar Townians, welcome, welcome. AFTERBUZZ TV, Cougar Town podcast, talking about Season 5, Episode 12, Love is a Long Road. I'm Matt Lieberman. Joining me as always, fantastic and talented Miss Jenna Couture.
Hello.
Chelsea Earlywine, unfortunately, due to work scheduling, she's not going to be here for this week or next week. We miss her terribly.
Sad.
Throw her some love on the Twitter, at Chelsea Earlywine, or is it at Chelsea Earlywine, CHELSEAEARLEWINE.
Yep.
Speaking of wine, I was a fool and neglected to bring any. So don't hate me, but there's no wine review this week.
Don't worry, we're going to have a mega wine party next week for the finale.
Exactly.
We'll have like 5 bottles of wine.
We're so excited about the finale. Can we announce our guests?
Yes.
So for the finale, be sure to tune in because Cougar Town showrunner Blake McCormick is going to be in the studio with us, along with 2 very special guests to be determined later.
Yes.
But we're very, very excited about it. It's going to be a great, great show. So be sure to tune in next Tuesday night and tweet us your questions for Blake. Tweet at us. Let us know what you want us to ask him when he's in the studio. It may be your only shot ever to get the inside Cougar Town scoop.
Yes.
Now, Jenna, we got to talk about this episode. I thought it was a lot of fun with some very touching moments. What did you think?
I thought the same thing. I thought that, as this last season has gone by, we've seen so many moments of Grayson just kind of taking it, and just dealing with Jules is all of her,
With her crazy,
just taking it. And I feel like this time I thought he was breaking. Like, I thought we were possibly like headed towards divorce land.
The real fight.
Yeah,
you know?
like the real fight. Like, it was nice to see like some real fight go on. And I was worried, and I was Team Grayson because I think that it's such a, in this episode we see him, kind of discuss her, Jules' dad moving in, and then she just moved him in, and there he was, and that was it, and she just kind of jumped the gun with it. And, I think as your parents get older, you realize you're kind of going to become the caretaker.
Yeah.
And in my family, everyone has lived with, so my grandmother lived with my great-grandmother, my grandma lived with my mom, and I'm just like, Mom, the buck stops there. Like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I think that's a crazy, hard thing to...
It's hard for everyone involved. I mean, the parents, obviously, they're not going to like it because now all of a sudden their child is in charge. They have to follow their rules to some extent. It's a very awkward situation, but more and more people are forced to do it due to economic circumstances or because they can't take care of themselves. I don't remember who it was. I think it was me who predicted that this was going to be happening after last week, and we realized that, Chick was in far worse off shape than we thought with his Alzheimer's. It was kind of inevitable that something like this was going to come to pass. I was upset but not surprised at Jules for, after Grayson kind of says, that we should maybe have this discussion, that she just kind of jumped on it and took it as gospel. Very classic Jules to just get too excited and jump ahead without asking, whether or not that's the right call or whether or not he's okay with it. Grayson has the patience of a saint. The fact that he doesn't blow up at her for the first couple of days, amazing.
He is like the best husband ever.
Yeah.
Like, he is so understanding.
And it's so funny. You remember who Grayson was when we met him in the first season? He was a jerk.
I know. I can't even believe how much he's kind of morphed. But that just goes to show you that guys are just guys with a hard shell are all tender and soft inside.
It's once you crack the shell,
You've
then we're just
gotta
moldable.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And he loves her so much that he will even, deal with Chick and his History Channel obsession and the fact that he thinks that there's a JFK cover-up.
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. It's hilarious and sad and real because that happens, you know, like when you get older. Like, is that your plan? Do you think your mom's gonna end up living with you, your parents?
I don't know. I mean, luckily they're well off enough that financially they won't have to. Whether or not they need more help as time goes on, that remains to be seen. Regardless, I think no matter what, if your parents need help, they raised you, you take care of them.
Absolutely, there's no question.
There's no question. Whether or not they need to live with you or whether or not that's good for both of you.
Whether or not they live in a casino right next to you.
Right. Like a little distance is necessary, especially when you've got a marriage or you've got a family. Yeah. But you've absolutely got to help. And, I'm right there with Jules. If he has to move in, let's move him in. True. Let's make it happen. And
There's
also,
no saying no to that. And he's alone.
Yeah. He's been alone for so long. He's taking care of this huge ranch.
Yeah, you can't stop the buck there, but in my head, I've already premeditated the buck stopping.
Okay. Wait, but you said you already told your mom.
I already told her we've already had it. So, I mean, it's out there. But, if the buck has to not stop, it won't.
Right. If it comes down to it, you would.
I would.
You would just prefer, hey, Mom, maybe not.
I'd be like, so, Mom, on Tuesday night is porno night.
Is Tuesday night actually porno night?
Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And Thursday. So.
The Couture household is just kinky as what? And I think porno night would have a damper on it with Mom there, or maybe not. Maybe it would do her some good.
It would. I honestly feel like it would do everyone good. So
I agree.
I would just introduce her to the house rules and let it go.
Yeah, and just let her freak flag fly. I'm really, really glad that, that Jules and Grayson were able to make up.
How cute was their makeup? Cutest makeup
wonderful.
Ever. I mean, it was such a cute, he was like, how did you find me? Well, I know when you get upset, you go and get 6 cupcakes. You
go and buy a bunch of cupcakes, and then you have trouble deciding whether to eat them all because you're so sad or to give them to me to apologize.
Yeah.
And he went 50-50. He ate half the cupcakes.
So funny. It was so funny and so cute because he totally was a little bit of an emotional eater there, but then saved a few.
Yeah.
Between all the cupcake, wrappers.
Well, it's because it's body remorse. His inner fat kid is strong, but not as strong as his abs.
Yeah.
And he already is like, I'm gonna have to do 1 billion crunches to get all this cupcake off me.
I know, but maybe with their workout on the table, he won't have to do as many.
At the very least, it's elevated his heart rate so that if he chose to go for a run, he's gonna get the maximum possible, exercise boost.
Yes.
It's gonna have maximum effect.
I was surprised they went public sex. This is the 12th episode. I'm waiting for the 13th. I'm really hoping we get something exciting.
I think it's going to be very exciting. I mean, we have a graduation, and it's not even the finale of the season. We've got to have something huge happening next week. But yeah, they make up, and Chick is going to stick around, which I love Ken Jenkins, and I love him in this role. So it'll be interesting to see how having him around all the time will affect the chemistry in the next season. Yeah, very, very interesting. Excited about that. We have a lot more story to talk about. But first, we're going to talk about iTunes really fast.
I love talking about iTunes. Let's talk about iTunes.
Let's talk iTunes. Hey, gang. You know about iTunes? It's amazing. It's where you might have found this podcast. There's all these other podcasts on it. A bunch of them are from AfterBuzz TV. Put out 70
That's
shows,
so many
a week. It is nuts. It's really nuts. And they're all free. Free as the wind blowing through your hair. Why am I Irish? I don't know. But my point is, go to iTunes, rate, review the show. It legitimately helps everyone here at AfterBuzz TV. We're just trying to make great content out there for you. It went somewhere else. I think it was Scottish. I don't know. We're just trying to make we're just trying to make great free content for you that can entertain and inform. And it legitimately, not only does it make our days to read great reviews, it makes it easier for us to get sponsors here. It's what keeps the lights on. It's what keeps the doors open. So if you like what we do here, it just takes a second. Rate and review any of the shows that you listen to because legitimately it helps.
You make a difference.
You make a difference. Okay. Second story this week. Ellie is concerned that Lori is Jules' new best friend. We've seen this.
This isn't the first time this has come up.
It's a long-standing fear with Ellie.
I know. The jealousy's popping up. Ugly little face.
Yeah, jealousy be popping. And it's because, you know, it's Trav's graduation. And Lori and Jules have all this planning to do. Lori's dating Travis. Jules is Travis's mother. They're both excited.
It'd be hard.
You know, Ellie just isn't. She isn't part of that. You know, she's more tangential. She's a friend of the family. She knows Travis, but she doesn't have a dog in this fight. So, you know, why would Jules involve her in the planning of this graduation?
Right, and Ellie's not one to really help a lot either.
Yeah, you know, like that's the whole thing. Like she comes up to, oh, we're talking about graduation. What do you want me to do? Nothing. Nothing? What? And first of all, she's wearing this like blazer hoodie combo that's like, I'm like, I have that. I'm like, was she so like hipster cash?
I don't know.
Especially in the sweaty Florida sunshine.
I know. She was making her boobs pop, though, wasn't she? Didn't she?
In that sweater.
Yeah.
It's the boob pop sweater. Which, like...
I did not see a lot of boob pop, though. Did you see boob pop?
There was lift, but pop is maybe a strong word.
Pop is a strong
Pop is a strong word. Because, I mean, it's not a cleavagey sweater.
No,
there's
I was
none
like,
to be
it can't
seen.
be your favorite sweater when there's no cleavage.
It's up to the neck, but there is a slight pop. I feel like that has nothing to do with the sweater and more like, you know, they put her in a push-up bra or something while wearing the sweater to make it look like the sweater did that. And at this point, we're just speculating about boob lift, and I don't know. We're off the reservation. But, you know, Ellie has always been afraid that Lori is trying to steal her spot because if you look at it...
Which is so funny because I feel like Lori is so oblivious to any sort of, you know, like, I like you more, you like me less, you know.
Right.
I feel like she's so oblivious. I mean, she's pretty much oblivious to how much Ellie hates her. Although they've gotten
closer.
Yeah.
And I think that she's aware of Ellie's disdain, you know, but the fact is Ellie doesn't have any other friends.
That's it.
Like that's the huge thing. Like Jules is Lori's best friend, but she has other people in her life. She has other friends. If she and Jules weren't friends, it would be tragic, but her life wouldn't be over. If Ellie and Jules weren't friends, who else does Ellie have? Andy? She practically doesn't even like Andy. Stan? We don't even see Stan.
I know, which is funny because in the earlier episodes, I felt like Ellie was so worried about Andy wanting to marry her, and you know, like in the beginning of this, like the season 1, I think it was, or when she talked about like when they were dating before.
Oh, okay.
You know, she was so worried about getting him there. You know, and then it's like she's not worried.
Not at all.
Like these women, they get married, and maybe it is the worst thing a man can do to a woman.
What? To marry them?
Yeah, because then they get complacent. They take it for granted. They stop working.
I don't think it's marriage that does that.
What do you think it does? Years of being together?
I think it's years of being together. Marriage certainly, I think,
Ellie's
can help in that
and like
equation.
Ellie's in perma sweats.
Right. Well, once you have the man locked down, why do you need to try anymore? That's kind of the big question. I think you do too. Ellie maybe doesn't think so, but then again, Andy is so easily whippable and moldable as a man that he's not going to leave her.
Ever.
It would take a whole hell of a lot. You think of all the things that she's done to him, and he just readily spoons up another bowl full.
I know, he loves it in some weird way. See, but men kind of like being tortured in some weird way. Don't you think?
We like when women give us crap. It's true. Not necessarily making our lives hellish or like forcing us to do things that we don't want to do or making our living situation terrible. But like, I love a good tease. Like I like, or not a tease. I like being teased. I like being ragged on because, you know, like we're hosts and like I'm a comedian. We put ourselves out there. Yeah. We put ourselves out there. I love reading negative comments. They most of them make me laugh when they're specific. Not like
so sad when I read them.
But it's not like the kind that are like, you know, like he sucks or like something like that. But like I've been doing a bunch of videos for my new job. And a lot of people keep talking about how I look like an elf, which drives me up the wall, but I think is also the funniest thing in the world because I've never heard that before in my life.
I've never thought that. But I do see it.
It's because I'm wearing these headphones. But then if you see the ears, they do kind of have a pronounced point to them.
Well, and your nose is kind of like it could go elfish.
It could go elfish. But that's my point.
Yeah.
Is, Ellie isn't worried if Andy would never rise up against her if she, gave him one too many insults. Yeah. That divorce isn't coming. But, Lori is now dating Travis. She's practically a part of Jules's family. It's a line that Ellie will never get to cross. Although she does kind of try in this episode. When she gets so desperate, she kind of tries to seduce Trav. And it's like this creepy Mrs. Robinson moment. And Andy's right there. Like, that's it right there. She tries to seduce a 22-year-old in front of him. And he doesn't, he's like, he's not going to get mad at her. He's not going to bring it up later, She's basically, she was pulling a season 1 Jules on Travis.
She brought Cougar Town back to Cougarville, man.
Back to Cougarville.
Woo.
Yeah.
Then the whole cake situation, she turned into Cakezilla. What was that? And
she turned into Cakezilla and completely smashed.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, if you've ever made a cake, have you ever made a cake homemade?
I have made a cake homemade.
I mean, it's so much work and frosting it, and like she made a kind of a basic sheet cake with like a cap on it, but that was a huge cake and so much work, and she just started dancing and then just took it and threw it, and I was just like, whoa. And it was like the most pathetic kind of like
and not even just like making the cake, but all the planning that went into it. She had all these different designs, one of which was a doodle that Jules should not have seen, where she was licking Travis's rolled up diploma. Thank you very much.
This was a very sexual episode. This one gets a high sexual rating.
Yes. High sex rating. High sex rating.
Our viewers said they like it when we give a sexual rating. So.
Oh, great. Well, then I decree that this has a 9 in the sex rating.
No, I give it like a 7.5.
Fine, a 7.5.
We did get sex on the table.
We got sex on the table,
which was really sexy. Probably one of the sexiest things they've done. So maybe I would give it like a 9 or 9.
She's, and granted, she tells him flat out she's really turned on by the fact that he loves her that much and that he was willing to.
I know, that is a turn on, being loved that much.
It is a turn on. It's the ultimate turn on. Love your woman.
Don't do the nag. Love your woman.
Love your women. You will always get a piece.
You will always, when you love what?
It's the voice. The voice I did made me laugh. That's neither here nor there. But between that and Jules basically seeing a drawing Lori did of her giving Travis a blowjob.
Like a 9, a solid 9 for Cougar Town.
Yeah, we'll give it a 9 sex.
It was one of my favorite sex episodes. Although I really liked it when Tom was talking about the bear claw. It took me a while to figure out what a bear claw was.
Oh, what is it?
Well, online on according to Urban Dictionary, it's just two like lips, like vagina lips, like just like really meaty. Like it says like two really big fat.
We can stop at meaty lips. Oh Lord.
That's what it said, but then there is like another one that said it had something to do with like the balls and doing. I don't know.
Okay.
So I mean,
they mentioned it on the show. Okay, we're not entirely guilty.
We're
not
guilty.
Forcing this on you. They mentioned it on the show.
I think it was two fat lips or something like that. Is what the Urban Dictionary was.
Two fat.
So
lips.
I can imagine Tom being like, "Oh, bear club."
Tom, you freaky freak. Tom in this episode got a really beautiful moment where he's talking about nostalgia. This like really nice monologue that would fit in perfectly in a drama somewhere. It was like really beautiful. In the middle of the next story, which I don't want to jump ahead. What else do we have in the Lori Jules Lori basically?
It was nice to see. I mean, when Lori and Ellie made up, it was nice that Lori didn't like hold a blood grudge. That's what I love about her. She's so easygoing. She was like, she was like Cakezilla. And totally brushed it off, forgived her, like no big deal. Because I was like, she just ruined that cake. I would be pissed for at least like 2 days.
I think that they were both just.
And then they left the cake.
Yeah, that's what was so funny is they just left it all over the place and then blamed Bobby. And I think that's what united them in the end.
Yeah.
Is causing trouble and then blaming Bobby for it.
Amen to that. That is the way to go.
Yes. So our final story of the night is that Bobby always gives Travis great graduation gifts. When he was a kid, he took him to this wrestling match between Captain Carnage and Big Daddy Payne. And
I don't even know what that was. Is that something real?
I don't think they're real wrestlers, but it's like local wrestling or regional wrestling is very much a thing.
Okay.
And people are huge fans of it. There's a huge wrestling culture out there, you know, even outside of the WWE, which is obviously huge. And, you know, for his high school graduation, Bobby had that 70-foot gorilla with Travis's face on him. Like, he goes all out for these presents. And, of course, he has done zero prep work. He does not know what he's supposed to give Travis, and he's panicking.
Yeah.
And Andy's there to help him out, help him figure it out. They decide to go get some fireworks, and you know, they're looking for something big and beefy that could potentially spell out, you know, happy graduation, Travis. The fireworks guy's like, I don't really have that. They're like, come on, show us the illegal stash. And they fork over a bunch of money, and the guy, of course, is a cop. I mean, like, why would you even put yourself in that position? You know, you first of all, you're doing an illegal dealing. You ask if they're a cop. They have to tell you. That is the law.
It's the law. They have to tell you.
They have to tell you. That's how they catch people, or that's how prostitutes stay on the streets.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew a vice cop, and he never said yes.
He never said
that's
yes?
the first thing they always ask is, "Are you a cop?"
And he
would
just
be like, "No."
And he would just lie.
Mm-hmm.
What a dick! I thought you were
I
supposed
think
to.
cops have like the license to lie.
They have the license to lie.
Yeah, they do.
That's like James Bond, but like way weaker. Yeah. Doesn't involve a gun.
Weaker.
Yeah.
Way weaker. Yeah. It sucks.
But in any case, they get briefly arrested, briefly incarcerated, and I love Bobby's as he pulls out the badge. He's like, "Oh, fake badges! How much for that?" Look, and then he pulls out the handcuffs. He's like, "Oh, you're not gonna upsell me with handcuffs. That's where they get you." That was funny. And you know, left without any options, they're sitting in Gray's pub when Tom has this beautiful monologue about nostalgia. And then all of a sudden, Bobby has a brainstorm. I'm going to give Trav Captain Carnage just like he loved back when he was a kid. So he rushes off in search of Captain Carnage, and he tells, you know, Andy to come up with a backup plan just in case he can't. And just in time for the graduation, Bobby shows up with Captain Carnage. He found him. Even though he searched all over the place in, you know, 5 different towns and 2 different Piggly Wigglies, he found him. And unfortunately, Andy didn't think he was going to make it, so he came up with his plan B, which was Big Daddy Payne. And they're not actors. They really do hate each other. And they start rumbling right there at the graduation. It's a royal rumble.
Oh my gosh.
And
crazy.
And Andy, Bobby, and Tom get dragged into the fray, and it's a great scene as they're, you know, Bobby.
We don't really get to see stuff like this on Cougar Town.
Andy gets like leveled. He gets thrown like a rag doll.
I'm wondering, is that a stunt?
It's like no, it's probably just like a dummy filled with stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And Bobby takes a chair to Captain Carnage, and like Travis is like, this is the greatest gift anyone could give me. This is amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Dad. And he's like, all right, great. I love you, son. Back in. And he jumps back in, fighting. Meanwhile, Ellie and Jules take a picture together, and, you know, Ellie is secure in her best frienddom, and Grayson and Chick bond over their argument over whether or not JFK's murder was a conspiracy.
Oh my gosh, and Jules kissing her friends on the lips.
Yeah, it's like a thing she does.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
You didn't want to give it a 9 on the sex meter.
I can't believe I didn't give it a 9.
Girl
and there was like
girl
boobs.
action.
Like Jules was working her boobs.
She was working her boobs.
She was working. She's been working those boobs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a graduation.
They have been working this whole season.
Oh yeah, but tonight they got some air.
They got some air.
They got some air in there.
Yeah,
okay. And then finally our little tag scene was our 3 wrestlers beaten up at Gray's pub, and poor Tom, Big Daddy Payne had thrown chili powder in his face, or Captain Carnage had thrown chili powder in his face, and he's furious. And they're talking about what they would do if they were a 3-man tag team. And Tom's like, I'm going to shiv Captain Carnage. And he runs out, and they're like, wait, is he serious? Tom, don't do it. Don't do it, Tom.
Tom's too nice.
Tom's too nice to shiv someone, we think.
We think.
We
you never
hope.
know. You never know until you know somebody.
Yeah, that's true. You don't know until...
It could be a total unknown. We haven't seen the cul-de-sac model. I'm wondering if we're going to see that in the finale.
I'd love to see it again. I love our little Marwin Call model. All right, I think it is time for predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay. Jenna,
Things have got.
we have 1 episode left this season.
Gosh,
I cannot believe
Can't even believe it.
it has gone by so fast.
Blink of an eye.
Yeah,
Gone.
it's all gone. What do you think is going to happen in our season finale? We had this graduation the episode before, so it's got to be even bigger.
I can't believe they just didn't end it on the graduation, because, like, what are they going to use? I'm so curious. They sexed up this episode. It wouldn't be like them to sex up 2 episodes. I don't know what's
What
gonna
do you
happen.
think that the public sex led
maybe
to the
there's,
child?
Like, maybe there. I was just about to say, maybe this is where Cougar Town baby is made, between episode 12 and
episode 13. It's possible.
I'm thinking that. I'm thinking, I don't know. I just don't feel like there's any big fights on the horizon. I don't feel like there's any conflict. Everything seems, like it's already packaged.
I'll tell you what I'm terrified of.
What?
I think that Chick dies.
No way. You've been saying that.
I've been saying
no way they are going to end the season with him dying.
Jenna, do you really think that they're going to have him move in for the rest of the series? No. I think to preserve the status quo and do something shocking and do something moving, I think Chick may die in the finale. I'm very concerned about this. I don't want to go out on a down note. I'm sure they will do it brilliantly and beautifully if that's what happens, but I hope that's not the case. I just can't help but I can't shake the sinking feeling
Lori's
that
pregnant
that's
with
what's
twins.
happening.
That's what's it.
Boom.
Twins.
Lori's pregnant with twins.
Twinners,
I love
babies.
that idea.
Babies are such a positive way to end. Maybe they end and he dies and she's pregnant, and so it's like death and then I don't know.
Travis isn't ready to be a daddy. He just graduated from art school. Man has no marketable skills. All right.
What kind of skills are we dealing with on Cougar Town?
Not many.
See?
Yeah. All right. Jenna Couture, where can the people find you?
I am at Jenna Time Tweets on Twitter.
Okay. And you can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman. That's MattLieberman. You can also find me on YouTube, youtube.com/Matthew D. Lieberman. It's where you can find all my sketches, AfterBuzz TV shows, and source-fed videos. New shows coming in April. Playing House on USA, which I think you and Chelsea are going to be doing with me.
Possibly. I need to check the dates and times.
Okay, possibly. Mad Men's coming back. Orphan Black is coming up. Lots of new stuff on the horizon. Want to thank everybody for watching, downloading, streaming, listening. You're all the best. We will see you next week for the finale with Blake McCormick.
And 2 special guests.
Yes.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.